morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Greg. Good morning. Great day, Greg. Congratulations to the Packers.
I'm glad you're here, Greg. I want to hear your biggest takeaway from that one.
My biggest takeaway, honestly, this Packers team is really good. And I honestly don't know if the Dallas Cowboys team can play to the level that I thought they could against the elite of the NFC. And the reason why I say that is they struggle in areas that you have to be great. When you've paid your offensive line the amount of money that they played, now I understand that they were short-handed yesterday with a couple guys, one guy getting done, Lyle Collins going down, and them missing both tackles essentially. But it just looks like, from the Dallas Cowboys perspective, they're trying to allow the games to be won on the arm of Dak Prescott. And this is not who you are. I love what Dak Prescott has been able to do. He's been able to make plays and be a lot better than what he's been in the past. But you have to get Ezekiel Elliott involved. When you look at the teams like Baltimore Ravens, you look at the Green Bay Packers, when they have success, they're able to run the football. They establish the run. And that was one of the biggest takeaways for me for the Green Bay Packers. When Matt LaFleur has established the run first, and they're able to run as well as pass with Aaron Rodgers, this offense looks unstoppable. This offense flat out looks unstoppable. I love what the Green Bay Packers were able to do against the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. They owned them from start to finish. This was without Devontae Adams.
Hold on. Devontae Adams didn't play?
He was on the sideline, all smiles. All smiles. And it just is alarming in a lot of ways for the Dallas Cowboys specifically. And you mentioned this before with that defense, not being sold on that defense. That defense is letting them down in a multitude of ways.
Go ahead, pile on.
Hang on, pile on. Yeah. I mean, we opened up, we showing the montage earlier. We saw Aaron Rodgers scrambling, stepping up in the pocket, and throwing that ball out to the what was that guy's name? Kumaro, I think that was his name.
Tanyan?
Tanyan.
On the sideline?
Yeah. Dak.
He looks like a Hall of Famer.
Even if Dak were to dream, he can't dream of making a throw like that. No, because we've seen him throw the ball and they behind the guy to get picked off. Blue coop. Now this is 2 weeks in a row. He's thrown the ball behind the guy and it's gotten picked off. Greg, I can see. I was on Twitter yesterday trying to talk to guys, these experts, a lot of guys. I mean, I would think, they was like, well, no, Shannon did catch the ball for a living, so let me hear what he has to say.
Wasn't that beneath you to be told?
No, I
thought you were in the Hall of Fame.
I am. And so I thought that would give me a little bit more credit, too, but clearly, I think they think I went in as an offensive lineman. Because I'm saying, guys, you don't understand how difficult it is to run full speed one way, try and stop, open your hips up, and catch a ball that's behind you. Because when the ball is coming straight on, I'm going to catch it like this. If it's over my shoulder, I'm going to catch it like that. But when the ball is behind you, am I going to open my hips and catch it like this? Or I'm going to try to open my shoulders and catch it like that? And it's a split second. You got to make that decision. That's 2 weeks in a row you guys throwing it behind it. Now, you guys easily could have had 5 picks in that ball game. Now, but my question to you, he had 329 yards in the second half. What was he doing in the first half, Greg, when it was 7-0, 14-0, 17-0, 24-0? What was Dak Prescott doing?
My turn?
No, it's not your turn just yet. And granted, the hardest part for a defense, let me tell you what will gas a defense. Let a team go down the field and put a drive together, let's just say somewhere between 8 and 12 plays, and they get a touchdown. And your offense and their deep offense comes on the field, and then 2 plays later throws a pick. And that defense that just had a 12-play drive against them is back on the field. Guess what's going to happen? That's what your guy Dak Prescott did yesterday. At some point in time, Skip Bayless, you're going to have to stop defending him. At some point in time, it's not Jason Garrett's fault. It's not Amari Cooper's fault. It's not the defense. At some point in time, I need you to place some blame just a little bit. You know what, Skip? I ain't going to give him all the blame. I'm just going to give him a little blame. You got to put some of that at Dak's feet. But you refuse to do that. But you head hard. Now, I'm feeling good about myself. Now, because remember last week we had this conversation. I said I feel real good about my NFC East pick. Old Philadelphia Eagles. Old walking tour. I'm feeling a little bit better this week about y'all not making the playoffs. Feeling real good.
So these two teams are tied at 3-2 atop the NFC East, and now Philly goes to Minnesota. You know Minnesota pretty well. You live there. And guess what? Cowboys go to the Jets. Could they lose that game? I guess they could, but I kind of like their chances at the Jets.
Oh, you like first cousins?
Yeah.
Oh, you like first cousins. So in other words, you putting all your eggs in first cousins basket.
I think the Eagles have a much higher degree of difficulty than the Cowboys have at the Jets.
They absolutely do.
Okay, and my quarterback still, I don't know how, he can't throw a lick, but he still leads the entire NFL in QBR. Now, back to my friend Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings says, gotta run Zeke.
Zeke.
Well, right away, they were running Zeke, and they were throwing it. It was a great mix because they were just gashing the Packers up the field. They go boom, 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 and they go all the way up to down to Green Bay's 38-yard line. And then what happens? Could we see that play? This is the throw to Amari that the Hall of Famer across from me says is a horrible throw. What, he missed him by 10 yards?
Let's
see. Can we see this throw to Amari? Here we go. This is such a bad pass that Amari Cooper said, hit me right in the hands, and after the game, he said, the only thing that's really on my mind is the drop ball and the turnover it created. I feel like it gave them a lot of momentum.
It did.
I got it. That's what I was thinking when the ball was on the way, and those are the three worst words in football. You caught balls for a living. You caught balls for a living. Mm-hmm. It was one of those passes where Dak had to throw it just to his back shoulder because Savage, the safety, is coming full speed head on, and you can't throw it to Savage or he might just cut across his face and pick it. So he throws it right where he can settle in between the corner and the safety and catch it.
Man.
It was a
you
nice
can't settle
throw.
on a man,
He got two hands on it. Would Greg Jennings have caught that ball? You better believe he would have caught that ball.
I'm in defense of Dak, like in every single throw is not going to be perfect, and that's not. That can't be our expectation.
Did Aaron Rodgers ever throw it right here to you?
Yes,
sure, he
absolutely.
Did you ever catch a pass that was like right here?
Yes,
sure you did.
But the response of Amari Cooper was dead on. He has to catch that. He understands it, and it did give the Packers momentum.
And again, he's looking at Savage, and he took his eyes just briefly off the ball, and then he looked back because he thought, this is easy. I got this one because I can just slow up right in in between the safety and the corner, and we're going to have it 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. They are on their way because they throw it and they run it, and it's been a beautiful blend up to now. And then what happens? One series, well, again, the ball it's just a bad bounce. And I swear, Aaron Rodgers has got a hex over the Dallas Cowboys. I told you that last week, and I'm believing it. I think he's got voodoo dolls. What has happened every time it's Aaron Rodgers versus the Cowboys? Dez caught it. Didn't he catch it? Yeah, he did. Everybody thinks that he caught it.
No, nobody used it.
Then what happens? Mason Crossbar happens in a playoff game. He makes 2 field goals from 56 and 51. They're off his foot, look like they're misses. Both of them.
You saw yesterday, Justin Tucker hit one the exact same way as Crossbar. And what did it do, Skip?
He's the best kicker in football, right?
You know what?
Okay, well, he is. He's the best kicker in football. So now we turn back, and so now it's 7-0, and you say, run, Zeke, run. And what happens on 2nd and 10 from the 17, if we could see the next Cowboys series?
What happened?
Well, watch this. Tell me this is a bad throw, isn't it? Hits him right in the hands, but again, what's going on in Amari's subconscious at this point? I just dropped the last one, so I better make sure I look this one right into my hands. And what does he do, Mr. Jennings? He loses his balance.
He didn't look at his hand. He looked into his belly. That's why he's stumping. He looked
like,
all the way in the bread basket.
I got to just pull this right in here, and all of a sudden I'm going to fall off. It's like over the top of your skis, and you fall on your face.
Yep.
It's a touchdown.
It is.
But they got to run Zeke. They got to let Zeke eat. Run, Zeke, run.
Okay.
It's going to be 7-7, and the roof is going to come off.
Okay, Skip. They didn't get a touchdown,
No.
but you got a first down. Okay, so what did you do after that?
Okay.
What the plays after that one?
My defense couldn't stop it.
No, you on offense.
Huh?
You on offense.
No, I'm just saying they lost all their momentum, and they couldn't do anything. And by the way, Green Bay is really good on defense. Aaron's been just raving about the defense. Aaron Rodgers has, because he should be raving about Aaron Jones, who saved him yesterday. But the point is, Green Bay's secondary is hellacious, fast, and good because all those kids are playmakers back there. And I know they're kids, but they're really good, and they're all good in man coverage, right? So what happened? You added two. It's maybe the best tandem pass rushers in football.
Yeah.
So I lose I don't have the star left tackle, and then I quickly lose the star right tackle. Against those two guys, the two Smiths, they are in my quarterback's face the whole game. They're hanging on his shoulder pads the whole game. They're trash talking him the whole game. And yet, here he comes back. And in the second half, all he did was throw for 329 yards against that defense. But he's a bust as the Hall of Famer, and he's inaccurate. How can you be inaccurate and throw for 329 against that defense? And by the way, they weren't playing prevent in the second half. They just kept doing what they do. They were playing in your face across the ball, man coverage the whole second half. How do you do it?
Greg,
Dak can't play.
Greg, my thing is, look, do not set my house on fire and then put it out and say, man, I saved your house. That got him in this hole.
Can he play safety?
No, he wasn't playing quarterback very well in the first half either.
Did they ever stop the Green Bay offense? Well, finally, they started to draw a beat on it.
Are you allowed to score a touchdown on offense, Greg? Can the quarterback score offense? Because he had 17-0,
Guess what the
24-0.
score was early fourth quarter? It was 31-17, and Dallas had seized back all the momentum.
And then what
on
happened?
Offense and
then
defense,
what happened?
they had just made Aaron Rodgers punt on 4th and 20.
Yeah.
And they get the ball back, 1st and 10 at their 34. And what happened?
You threw a pick.
Robbery of the game happened. That's what happened. This is the turning point of the game, because here it is, and Kevin King mugs Michael Gallup. This is assault and battery. He's slapping him past 5 yards. He's pulling his head down. It's like the most outrageous pass interference I've ever seen. He throws him off his route, and then he runs his route for him, and Dak throws it where Gallup was supposed to break.
Greg, you got to get open. You got to make that play.
Oh, okay.
You got to make that play.
Should a flag have been thrown? You better believe it should have.
No.
Should Jason Garrett have challenged that? Would he have won a challenge on that? You better believe he would have. But he was out of challenges.
Why was he out of challenges?
Because mid-third quarter, he challenged an Anthony Brown pass interference on Valdez-Scantling that was clearly pass interference. And he got his pride up, and out of spite, he's going back and forth with the head referee who warned him, don't try to challenge that. He clearly got there early. And Jason Garrett says, basically, screw you. I'm going to do this.
The official say, you don't think it was pass interference? Throw the flag.
All right.
On the flag.
Oh, you just lost. And then at the end of the third quarter, obviously Amari catches the ball and gets 2 feet in bounds, and Jason's out of his mind and throws down the challenge flag and gets verbally abusive.
Yeah, he's verbally abusive.
That's 15 more yards, but again, that's your second challenge. Over. You're done. So now this play happens, which completely breaks the momentum, because it's feeling like it's about to be 31-24. That's what it was feeling like. Well, they hadn't been able to stop him.
It didn't feel like that.
Oh, that's what. You got an interception.
It feels like to me that, Greg, every time when it was down 31-3 or the big lead, Dak had that. But now we expect something. We get a chance to make this a one-score ball game. And guess what happened? The arm got shaken.
Robbery happened. Aaron Rodgers hex happened. Voodoo doll happened. You know it, and I know
Skip, when I say you have to get Ezekiel Elliott more involved, it's not just the running game. When we look across the line or across the field, Aaron Jones was involved in the passing game.
He had 75 yards receiving.
He did.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott can do that and provide that for a Dak Prescott, especially when you're struggling. If you're throwing interceptions and you're throwing the ball off target, get on some easier throws. And the guys were open. He
wasn't struggling, and he wasn't throwing the ball off target. He threw one bad throw that was picked in the second quarter, and that's it. He deserved one interception. The first one, Amari Cooper should have caught.
The first one was not on him.
And the third one is a mugging that should have been overturned.
What about the one he threw in the end zone, Greg?
Okay.
Who was that on?
You know what? I don't know. It must have been on anybody. But
did that count? I don't have it in my
the 3 county. The other 3 county. Hold on. What about Kevin King when he undercut Amari? He undercut and dropped it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whose fault was that?
Did it happen?
See, you can't do this.
Well, Dak had a couple of drops.
Who dropped? And Aaron had a couple of drops. But the difference is, you see Aaron hitting his guys in stride. There's a difference between you play with Aaron Rodgers.
On 1 3rd down, Dak hit Amari on a little quick slant. Just hit him right in the hands, and he just dropped it.
He dropped it.
And that's the same receiver who had, 221 yards?
But, Greg, when you play with Aaron Rodgers, you play at Brett Favre, the great quarterbacks, what they do is that they hit you and give you an opportunity. Instead of having a 30-yard gain, you get a 45, 50-yard touchdown. And what Dak does, Dak give guys, they catch the ball, but it's 15 yards. No, Aaron Rodgers giving his guys an opportunity to get them tubs. Your guy's not there yet.
Well, my guy threw a tub to Michael Gallup. Then he threw another sweet one up the sideline to Amari.
He needed 2 more.
Touchdown.
He needed 2 more.
He was about to get another one, and then Kevin King happened, and they got a gift field goal. They went nowhere and got a gift field goal, and now it's too much. Now it's 34-7.
And somebody that looked at this game, somebody that didn't watch this game, Man, Dak balled out his mind.
Yes.
It was never close.
Really, boy, I think it felt somebody was sweating up in Bel Air, up in his mansion up there.
Cooler
Somebody was sweating.
me and my dog was sitting there like, Daddy, we got this one.
Rodgers wasn't sweating. He has now won 7 of his last 8 against the Cowboys, including the postseason.
Hex.
And
All he
numbers.
I tell you what, let the Super Bowl be held in Jerry World again.
Okay.